Okay, we're live. This is the OSRA Daily Scrum for Monday, January 12th, 2015. Here we have Christian, Robbie, and myself. Robbie, let's start with you.
Okay, so the stuff around, I've been looking at shifting the functionality associated with users over from active admin to Rails, and fixed up some of the stuff around index over the weekend, and that got pushed up and then merged into the main branch. And really today I've been looking at the edit stuff, edit and update, and making good progress with that. Just a couple of queries around the cancel button, and I would be quite keen on really waiting until Brian has got the show stuff pulled through and merged, because that kind of the edit stuff comes a bit after that. So I'm kind of hanging on a wee bit to see if we can get that stuff through first.
Okay.
And that's about it from me.
All right, sounds good. No blockers?
Well, just that cancel stuff. I think that I really was asking if cancel should go back to the show page or just go to the index page as it does at the moment. And looking back through the history, there was a request that it go back to the show page for sponsors and a couple other types of data, and I think the users was just missed. So I'm assuming that we really wanted to go to the sponsors, to the show page.
Yeah, I think that's a safe assumption.
Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead on that basis. I mean, one wee query I did have around how this should be included within, because we're using Bootstrap, how the cancel button should be implemented. Should it just be implemented as kind of like a button with a URL back to the show path?
Yeah, what alternatives do you see?
Well, that was kind of what I was expecting. I have seen some other stuff where it kind of gets submitted, but then it results in a submit, but with additional information, say it's being cancelled.
Yeah, I don't really see any particular advantage to that.
No, I couldn't either. So I'll just assume that it's just a button, and then it would be out. Would that be then outside the form, do you think?
If you cannot, so the form. No, I think it can still be within the form. You can basically just insert the link in the form.
Okay. So it still should be okay, and then with if it's as a button, the Bootstrap CSS will style it as a button.
Yeah.
And it looks like a submit button.
Yeah, I shouldn't have any difficulty with that. But yeah, I mean, if that's not working out, and placing that button outside of the form tag within the page should be just fine too.
Yeah, not sure if it will affect the alignment, but I'll go ahead on that basis then, try and get it inside the form, and then hopefully that will work okay with the styling.
Yeah.
Okay, that's me.
All right, sounds good. Christian?
Yeah, if you have problem with that cancel button in the form, look on Stack Overflow. I think I saw some questions about that, people having problems with that. So you might have something there.
Yeah.
How did you guys handle it in the partner views?
It's missing from the partner views.
I
put a wee note on Slack saying, so
right.
I was having a wee bit of debate with Brian, but it's not actually put in there, so it needs to be put in there.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, at that point, it doesn't really. On the one hand, it doesn't give you anything that the back button in your browser doesn't give you, but at the same time, I think from just a user-friendliness standpoint.
Yeah. Well, I think, yes, particularly from the user-friendliness point of view, because you actually go in, if you fill in data in that, and you kind of press back, sometimes you're not too sure, well, did that take effect or did it not? That's from a user point of view, because kind of things that work in different ways. So actually having a cancel button is really quite nice to assure you that no, you're
We also should think that this application might be used on a tablet, maybe on full screen, maybe. So there's no back button.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I think a cancel button is just friendlier.
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, so yeah, Christian.
Yeah. So last night, after the scrum, me and Andre paired on OSRA 326 about exploring the facade pattern for the controller. Yeah, and well, we did a pull request on that, and our first attempt on that, and we will continue maybe tomorrow, and or not sure when we have time. I also worked on the weekend a little on the cucumber OSRA 315, the cucumber HQ cucumber test, and still have to add the task there to so it works with semaphore now. By running rake by default, it will do all the tests and have rake test HQ, rake test AA.
Mm-hmm.
So that we will work on tomorrow maybe, and
Okay.
that's about it.
All right. Christian, for the facade, one thing that occurred to me is that since we are kind of testing the waters when it comes to that, we haven't done it before. People might have different ideas about what the facade should do and shouldn't do and how to implement it. So
Yeah, sure.
we can even do something where, for example, if you and Andre have kind of one point of view, then you submit a PR that reflects that, and then if, let's say, I have a different point of view, then I'll submit a PR that shows my point of
Please
view.
do. Sure, yes.
Okay. Well, I'll
But
maybe we can talk right after the scrum about what you think about my comments and if you're planning to kind of stay with your implementation or.
no, I agree with your comments. The thing is that last night I wanted to continue on this with another idea that's more like your idea to create an object for the controller and for the view. So, but it was too late, so it is on hold until
Okay.
next time.
Okay.
So
Well, yeah.
wait until the next PR, and I think we'll have more to discuss, hopefully.
Okay. Okay. Sounds good. Anything else for you, Christian?
Well, no, just really not happy that I don't have enough time to work on OSRA.
Yeah, I can relate to that.
That's it. Yeah.
Okay. So I'll just wrap things up by saying that I've done a bit of code review, not a lot today, and I also on Friday or Saturday when I saw that comment from the client, one of which was about translating country names.
Mm-hmm.
And this is something that we discussed in the client meeting yesterday. So their initial concern was, in fact, that they thought that we would have to store that information in a database, that they would have to enter both the English country name and the Arabic country name. And that's why they raised the point now, because they thought that this is something that will have to be done for every record. So they wanted to do it right from the beginning. But as we discussed last night, or as we told them anyway, Rails has a very robust internationalization, and we don't need to store different language data in the database. We can just rely on live real-time translation. So in order to demonstrate, so I started working on this feature first, and then when the client clarified that this isn't something that they need right now, I thought I would stop. But then I decided that maybe it would be a good idea to show them how this internationalization works, that it's very possible to do this live. All we need is a lookup table, essentially a dictionary of English to Arabic in this case, and everything can be translated in real time. So I implemented just a very small portion of that functionality. So basically on the sponsor index and sponsor show pages, the country name is now displayed in both Arabic and English. And they can see that even though they only entered the information in English, the application translates it to Arabic on its own, and they don't need to enter that information again. So depending on the team's opinion on my pull requests, we might send that to the client and see if they're happy with that, and we don't need to do anything else until we actually come to discussing localizing the entire interface of the application to Arabic, but they indicated that's not a priority for them. Yeah, so my PR is there. It's for OSRA 348, I think. Yeah, and I'm just waiting on code review for that. And in the meantime, there's another story from the client. They've basically said that a couple of times they've made mistakes when creating sponsorships, and currently sponsorships are not editable in any way. So once it's created, it stays the way it is until it's inactivated. So they asked whether it's possible to make sponsorships editable, and we should probably, maybe when more of the team members are here, we should have a discussion about how we can handle this.
Inactive admin. Because they need it now.
Yeah, they need it now, so it has to be an active admin. Yeah. So yeah, we're still, even though we're pushing hard on Rails, I think we're still for quite some time we're locked into active admin, and we'll still have to work within it. So, okay, and that's it for me. Is there anything else that?
So where did you find this list of the countries in Arabic? Was this from Rails?
I created it. First of all, I found a list of, I think just on Wikipedia, there's a list of countries with their two-letter codes.
Yeah.
And then I found, I think it had to do something with another application, a list that somebody created of countries' full names in English and translated to Arabic.
One by one.
Well, I put everything into Excel and then just wrote a formula that basically, if the country name in one case matches the other, then put it in the Arabic next to the two-letter code. And for the most part, that worked out. There were a few cases where I had to do things manually, and then I put that all into Vim and was able to run just a couple of substitute commands to convert it essentially into a YAML format, and that's it. But I'm hoping, or I'm waiting for feedback from the client because I send them that file. Since I don't speak Arabic, it's possible that I made mistakes along the way, so I want them to proofread it.
Yeah, let's see what Google Translate says.
Yeah, actually.
AW. It's Europe. What's that?
AW?
Yeah, it's translated Europe. Strange.
Yeah, I don't have that much faith in Google Translate. The list that I got, it was actually, it looked like it was handmade by a native speaker. So there's a bit more. AW. Huh. I can tell you in a second what AW is supposed to be. Hold on. Just looking for the Excel file. AW is, it's supposed to be Aruba.
Aruba, yeah.
So if it's translating it as Europe, then maybe something is wrong.
It's Europe.
Yeah, I'm hoping that for the most part it's correct. And yeah, a few translations are missing, but hopefully none of
Yeah,
them
the
are
client,
that big of a deal.
the client can complete the rest, maybe.
Yeah, yeah, I think so.
But
I mean, they really care about a handful of countries, so going over it.
Djibouti. Is there account Djibouti?
Yeah.
Hmm.
No, wait, that's I thought it was a town, Djibouti. No, is that a
No,
country?
country in Africa, yeah. Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right. Yeah, actually, I ran into my own ignorance a couple of times because especially some of the smaller, I think they're not on here because they were not in the original Arabic list, but some of the smaller, um, yeah, some of the smaller countries, I can probably say that I'd never actually heard of them.
Yeah.
But,
But anyway, really nice work you did here.
yeah, and I'm actually, I I found something that I probably could have used.
Nah,
There are
this one is not
several.
a country.
Sorry?
Nah,
Huh.
this shouldn't be. I don't think this is a country. Nah.
No, I don't think that's a country.
Yeah.
Um, and you? That's the code.
And you, yeah. Explanation
Actually,
about that.
the country's name is Niue. Niue.
N-I?
UE.
I've never heard of that one.
Well, Wikipedia claims that it's a country.
Ah. So that one. Yep, it's an island in
There you have it.
the Pacific, in
Yeah,
Oceania.
I think that's actually where many of these fairly unknown countries like
Mhm.
this, yeah, that's where quite a few of them are from.
Palestine.
Anyway, it's interesting to actually sit down and have a look at the world's countries every now and again and realize just how many we're not aware of. What is a WS?
Yeah, areas.
WS is no, sorry. What's before it? WS. It comes
W.
after San Francisco, San Marino.
Okay.
Samoa. It's
Samoa.
Samoa, or maybe Western Samoa is what it's supposed to be.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe ask the client to check them one by one.
Yeah. So yeah, Tarek is supposed to be doing that. Like I said, they don't care about 99% of these countries, but it's probably a good idea to have this list. And the fact that it's not an external dependency is a pretty good thing too, because um, we use this country select gem in the OSRA application, and it relies on another gem called countries, and that gem has translations in it, but they're incomplete. Somebody submitted a pull request for a complete translation to Arabic, and they submitted it in July of last year, and there's been no activity
Oh,
on that pull request at all. So the gem is definitely not maintained very well. Um,
yeah,
so
yeah.
the fact that this is not a dependency, the fact that this is in our application, is probably a good thing.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
It seemed that Andre came in and disappeared right away. Okay, guys, is there anything else for us to talk about?
No, nothing for me.
All right. Well, if that's it then have a good evening, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Right. See you then. All the best.
So,
Bye.
take care. Bye bye.
Bye.